A trip through eastern Westphalia. A literary event is due to take place here today. On the program, an old book about the persecution of witches and a modern Icelandic saga. Where are they going to read here? I could just as well head off to the book fair in Frankfurt, but today there's supposed to be literature in a monastery.
So where's this Kloster Falkenhagen? It should be somewhere around here between Gross of Pulskopf and Köterberg.
With Björk's hidden place ringing in my ears, I really should be able to find the place. I'm supposed to be meeting a young Icelander there who writes songs for Björk as well as his own novels. Ways Through the Countryside is the name of the popular festival deep in the outback. Then all of a sudden, the woods thin out and I see it, Falkenhagen Monastery.
Back there in the monastery, Friedrich von Spee has written his famous book against the witch hunt. But there's nobody there at the moment, so I have time to read in the book and to read from the famous writer from Iceland, Sijón.
2 books, 2 worlds. Heaven knows how they'll fit together this evening. Sijón's novel, The Blue Fox, takes me back to Iceland in the winter of 1883. It's a bleak tale of the death of a young girl and the dark secret of a vicar hunting a black vixen in the eternal ice. But first, let's go into the monastery. Maybe Sijón is already there.
This is a little bit scary place, you know, so, but maybe that's only because I'm going to read here, you know, I'm a little nervous, you know, I've got a little stage fright, you know. But I think it's right that the book will resonate differently here than it would if we were reading in an ice cave, for example.
The monastery at Falkenhagen is the perfect setting for Sijón's grim tales of guilt and atonement. In 1629, the Jesuit priest Friedrich von Spee was recovering from an attack. This is where he wrote Cautio Criminalis, Precautions for Prosecutors, a diatribe against the way witches were persecuted. Sijón's The Blue Fox is a remarkable story. Because his heroine isn't allowed to sing in church, she develops her own language.
Means heaven. Priest. King. Clothing. Abba's box. Psalm. Darkness. To sleep.
The event has been sold out for weeks. No Icelander has ever appeared here before. A quick breather before the next reading.
You're always filming.
So far I didn't feel the myth of the place, but over there's some music which I don't know. In just a moment, Corinna Harfouch, a famous German actress, will read from the actual texts about the witch hunting, and I'm a little nervous because she doesn't like to be filmed, but we will do it.
But her biggest fear was that, if she were to be arrested, she would be so overcome by the pain of torture that she would lie and so be damned. I told her that telling an untruth under such circumstances was not a mortal sin. So, the next day, she returned home to her village. Shortly afterwards, she was arrested and tortured, succumbed to the pain, and died ready to meet her death. Of course, torture happens, and it can always happen. It's not something which happened a long time ago and won't happen again. In a certain sense, we're not far removed from it at all.
Sijón was also impressed by how serious the event was.
Okay. Also with the music, you know, it became like, I think you can say, hardcore experience where, you know, everything was in its place. You never let the audience go, I think. We had them in our hands for the time being, yeah?
So people will think more about witches now?
Yes, they will think more nicely about witches now.
The festival at Falkenhagen Monastery is over, and my doubts about whether this was the right place to experience literature have disappeared.
In the beginning, I thought this trip was going to be like a mystic experience, and I was a little disappointed that it didn't work out that easily. But now I learned that the music and the literature together really touched me, and therefore I think everybody should go to Rhine-Westphalia.